And here we are on a beautiful Saturday. Welcome back to the Wolf of Dubai, and today with breaking news on a Saturday morning. Now, for that I need to a little bit extend the overall introduction. So Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, just dumped most of its Goldman Sachs stocks. This shows a regulatory filing which was released on Friday night because of the following. So first of all, we need to go into this filing schematic for all of this viewers out there who are new to the stock market maybe or don't know what this means exactly. I want to go into a little bit of detail. So big investors with a certain money to manage have to fill out some regulatory fillings. This means there's the SEC, which is the American Security and Exchange Commission. Now they have to basically fill out some forms out there. You know, this obviously done by their offices, and Warren Buffett don't fill out those fillings, but they have to do this because they don't want to make it untransparent, especially for the big money on the market, and therefore they have to fill out these fillings, and those fillings usually come out when the market is closed, okay? And therefore this came out after the market closed on Friday. We saw the filling and it showed us the Omaha Oracle or Oracle of Omaha just dumped most of its stocks. Now there's two interesting things about that. So first of all, as we have known from the latest annual shareholders meeting, Warren Buffett dumped also all his airline stocks. So he don't see any future in airline stocks in the near future because, you know, you have to think about Warren Buffett is someone that buys and never sells after that, right? Except there is some huge changes into the business, or he thinks that the companies or the sector cannot perform very well in the next couple of years. So we see that he don't see any attractive improvement into the airline business, as well apparently into the investment banking, especially Goldman Sachs. And also 2 cents to Goldman Sachs. There is an important message for Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is, in my personal opinion, one of the most strongest and influential banks worldwide. So not only that, because think about the following. Over the last couple of years, they supported the US government or the candidates for presidency very, very much. And therefore, you always have seen that the new advisors of the president or in the White House for the financial sector was always a Goldman Sachs or ex-Goldman Sachs people, right? We have seen that with George Bush, the financial and treasury guy was Goldman Sachs guy. Lots and lots of people from Goldman Sachs in the US going to influence the European banks as well, right? And you see that as much as money as they have under management, as more they grow over power. There's a great documentary if you want to see it. I think it's even here on YouTube. Just look for Goldman Sachs, the Master of the World. I think it's called like that, or maybe a little bit differently, but something in this line. So you see that Goldman Sachs is maybe the most influential investment bank here in the whole world, and Warren Buffett is dumping them. Though I have also said many times here on this channel, if you are interested into investment banks, then Goldman Sachs has one of the best portfolios and paying a little bit of dividend, and it's a great strong bank. However, the performance over the last couple of months didn't was so well. So let's have a look what Warren Buffett exactly dumped and how much and so on. So we can see that in this regulatory filling that he actually had a 2.3, and this is huge guys, $2.3 billion stake in Goldman Sachs that represented about 2.9% of the whole company, guys, okay? And he approximately had 1.9 shares, and he dropped most of it, so he ended up, before he had 2.9%, and now he has 0.6% of the whole bank. So huge trim here. Moreover, he also trimmed a little bit his JP Morgan Chase percentage from 1.94 to 1.88. So this is quite interesting because he said that he's usually just dropping those shares, doesn't matter which company, if something significant is there. And now we see that he apparently don't have that much value, because in the end he is a value investor, right? He thinks like, okay, I'm investing into this company because I think like the overall scenario is great for the company, the overall business can be very well, but unfortunately he don't see that in the airlines as well as in the investment banking anymore. And this could mean because of cheap money. Cheap money helped also, or let's put it this way, in Europe we have for a very long time now negative interest rates, right? And Donald Trump is pushing for those negative rates also in the US. But what negative rates did for the Europe banking system is they weakened them banks very much, guys. Okay, the banks were very strong when their interest rate was 4, 5%, 3%, but it went over time lower and lower since the financial crisis and never picked up really back. So this really hurting the banking sector, to weaken the banks. And Warren Buffett is an opportunist. Okay, he acquired those stakes for about $5 billion during the financial crisis into Goldman Sachs, and he got like preferred stocks. Now this gave him a yearly dividend of $500 million. This is ridiculously. And here you see the huge advantage of big money. Though Warren Buffett and others seem, or especially Warren Buffett, seems like your very friendly grandpa that is just looking for a good deal on the stock market and waits long. But believe me, with this big money, they can make deals that no one else is doing. Actually, they I think it was Lehman Brothers that was supposed to be asking Warren Buffett for money during the financial crisis, and Warren Buffett said, okay, send me those documents and I will have a look into them. And so he asked for a fax, right? This was 2008, where emails were totally normal. And they sent this fax to his hotels where he stayed. And unfortunately, they make a mistake in the number, I guess. So the fax never reached Warren Buffett. And so this was a funny story about the financial crisis, that maybe, he could save Lehman Brothers and maybe avoid lots and lots of this financial crisis. But later on, he said that obviously he reviewed those documents after Lehman Brothers was already collapsing, and he said he wouldn't give the money that was needed anyway. So very funny story on the stock market, and this big money has really deals that we cannot do, and therefore we can just follow. If you think that Warren Buffett is a great investor and he knows something that you don't know, or something that is maybe will come up, or maybe he see the future, right? He has so much experience into the stock market that we cannot have on the long term, and he has the very long term view. He said something in his annual shareholder meeting that the train, and this has really struck me, the train in 2008, he just lost the track and got back again. But what happened now during the health crisis, we took the train and put it next to the track and leave it for a while. So he don't know the outcome of it, right? Nobody knows the outcome of that. And we shall see what this brings to the whole economy. I'm very, very exciting. So let me know what you think. Thank you very much for watching. Thumbs up if you liked that. This was a quite interesting one here on Saturday. And I wish you a great weekend, and I see you maybe in a couple of hours, because of course there's the daily vlog and a live stream later on the overall new outlook of the week and many more things. So stay tuned, and thank you very much for watching.